Hey super friends, today's video is a tribute to Steve Jobs.
Super cool funny videos. Now let's talk about Steve Jobs just for a second, just in case somebody watching this video is like, who is this Steve Jobs guy? Well, Steve Jobs is this amazing guy. This man has invented and created countless things in his life. Not only is he the designer, inventor, and founder of Apple and Macintosh, he's also one of the founders of Pixar Animation, and they've created countless of movies. He invented and pioneered the touchscreen interface. Without Steve Jobs, none of you Android users would have your damn phone. And what would we do without our iPhones, all the iPhone users out there? I mean, come on. Plus, there's so many other things out there in the world that use touchscreen interfaces now. And guess who did it? Steve Jobs. He is so inspiring and so powerful that he can make anything happen. Steve Jobs is one of the very few people in this world that followed his dreams and pushed the boundary beyond their limits. He has made his mark on this planet and in history. So now that you know a little bit about Steve Jobs, let's get into my video.
Now I don't want to do like a sad tribute where I get all teary-eyed and talk about all these things. Now there's a couple of ways that I want to tribute Steve Jobs, and one of the ways is I'm going to film all of the footage in this video will be used on some sort of Apple device. See if you can guess which device I'm using throughout the video. It might be pretty fun. So I'm going to tribute Steve Jobs with a hilarious video, and how I'm going to do that is imagine the title being Steve Jobs Could Do It Better. That's going to be the theme of today. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Something else Steve Jobs could do better was toilets. Now don't ask me how, but he could do it better, trust me. You see this house? This house was built without Steve Jobs. Do you see this house? This house was built with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs does it better.
Now another thing that Steve Jobs has actually already done better is his phones. I mean, have you ever touched an Android? And here's the thing, is if an Android user touches an iPhone, it's like, whoa, this is so much better. And if an iPhone user touches an Android, it's like, oh my gosh, this thing does not work. It is just broken beyond repair. It's pretty funny.
Now if Steve Jobs were to enter the car industry, this is probably how his cars would work. Pretty badass, right? And as always, Steve Jobs could do it better. Every single product that Steve Jobs would have worked on would have had some badass user interface and some awesome customizability. In all seriousness, Steve Jobs is probably one of the most absolutely amazing people to grace this earth. And it was an honor to know that I lived within his lifetime. And he blessed a lot of lives. And only in 56 years too. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment to be able to change the face of this earth, literally. He's amazing. He's a really amazing guy. I miss him. He'll be missed.